Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So this is the project we are going to be creating for today. We're going to be creating a browser app. If I run this app, you can see the way it's going to show. There are many features. Just watch the way the app will be installed. You can see that when you open the app, when the app is open on a user's phone, the splash screen will pop up. After the splash screen, it will lead the user to the main activity, the main app. I just name it Smart Browser. If you check here, we created our Android Studio project as browser app, but the name I gave it is Smart Browser. So I'm going to teach you how to change the name, change the color, put the design, and also the most important part of this tutorial is that you are going to learn how to integrate Admob, whereby if you publish this app on the Google Play Store, you'll be able to earn from it. If you come to our browser app and you search for app development, you can see that you'll be able to use it to search whatever you want. So the reason why I'm showing test ad is that normally when you are using, if you just go to this website, you see that this website will open. So if you want to go back, it seems it's taking long to open. Let me go to the next website. So you can see the way the browser is. Okay, the website has opened. So you can see the way the browser app is. So you have seen the way the app is. You build a complete browser app, integrate it with Admob, you earn from it. So you are going to be learning a lot in this video. Please, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, share with your friend, click on the like button so that it will encourage me to create more. If you have any question about this app that you don't understand, whatever the way I teach, you can decide to comment below and I'll be there to answer you. See you in the video. So let's create a new project. So we are going to be using empty activity. Let's name it browser. Let me put browser app. Although I'm going to change the name. So I'll be using the programming language is Java. API level 21 Lollipop. So let's finish it. So let's wait for our project to finish syncing. So I just came to the main activity.xml and I split it between design and code, so that whatever I'm writing here, I'll be seeing it on the design. Here is the main activity.java, which is where we are going to be writing our Java code. So I'm still waiting for my project to finish building. I would not like to waste you guys' time, so I will pause the video. So our project has finished syncing. So what we are going to do, we are going to first of all handle the main activity, but there's something I always like doing whenever I'm building a new project. I like running the app first so that I'll just run it on my emulator so that the emulator should come up, so that when I'm testing it, I will not be waiting for the emulator to come up again. So it's advisable you do that. But if your system is very slow, if it's not fast, you can decide to use phone to run it on mobile phone. If you don't know how to do that, you comment below so that I will know what to do about it. So our emulator is coming up. So the first thing we are going to do is that since we are developing a browser app, we will require internet connection. We're going to be setting our permission. So use permission. Internet. Use permission. Let's just wait for it to come up. Use permission. Internet. So while we are trying to run our app, we came across this error. It's normal to have issue in Android Studio. That is a normal thing. You shouldn't be scared of it. So this error simply means it's telling us that 6 issues we have found. Checking arrow metadata, dependency Android X, app compat resources 1.6, require library, and application that depend on compile against and it to compile against Android 33 or letter of the Android API. So when you have this kind of error, say app is currently compiled against Android 32. So when you have this error, simply telling you that when you are building a new project on this type of all these latest Android Studio, you need to use Android API level. You need to use your compile SDK version need to be 33. So you set SDK target to be 33, compile SDK 33, and you sync your project again. I think our emulator is set. So once our project has been synced, we'll just rerun our app. But while we are waiting for our project to sync, let's continue with other things because everything will be all right. So this is our design and this is our code side. So what we are going to relative layouts. So I will remove constraint layouts. Why I like using relative layout is beginner friendly. You can decide to use a constraint layout if you wish. So what I'm going to be doing here is that as I've set my layout to be relative layout, since we are building a browser app, we need a web view. So we are going to be setting web view. The web view is going to be match parent. The layout is match parent, the height is match parent. So we just need an ID. wave view. So that is my ID, wave view. So we have set our internet connection because we are building a browser app which we need internet. And this side is done, and we have decided to add our wave view. So that is all what we need to add here. So the next thing, we are going to go to our main activity.java. What do we need to do here? On our main activity.java, we need to bring in the wave view. So we are going to initialize, I will not set it as protected but private. We are going to initialize the wave view. So we set wave view, we set it as wave view. So here we are initializing the wave view. So we bring in wave view package, we set it to wave view, as this wave view here is an object of this wave view package. So the first thing we are going to do, we are going to reference our wave view ID from the main activity to be connected with our main activity.java. So we are going to say wave view is equal to find view by ID arrow.id, sorry about that, arrow.id dot mwave view. So we have referenced our wave view. If you see this error, just hover it and you see suppress missing related ID. So that is not an issue. Then you suppress it. So the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to set a wave view client. We say wave view dot set wave view client. So this wave view client now is going to, we are going to bring in new wave view client. The next thing we are going to do, we set wave view dot load URL. So which URL do we want the user to load first on opening our browser? So from here we can decide to do any search that we want to do, and you all can remember that once you open your Chrome browser, the first thing that comes to your mind is google.com. So we are going to get our Google URL, because once somebody open a browser and is seeing another URL instead of Google, it's somehow. So we are going to be using Google. So once the app is open, the person will see Google as a home page. We'll see Google on the home page. So what is the next thing we are going to be doing here? We are going to set our web setting. We say web settings. Web setting as an object of web setting is equal to web view dot get settings. Then we say web settings as an object of web setting dot set JavaScript enabled true. So that is it. So let's test our app and see if it is okay. You are going to be learning a lot in this little app that we are building here. It's not much, but I'm going to teach you a lot. It's not an advanced app, so let's wait for our project to build. So I don't know if this is going to be fast. If it's going to delay, I'm going to pause the video and come back again, because I would not like to waste your time. No need to pause it. I think it's okay. It's installing. So let's wait for it to come up. You can see that our browser app is ready. Let's search the web. You can see we can decide to search anything that we want. Whatever we want, you can search, because you are using Google. So let me just search this. You can see that is working. Our browser app is set. But do you know that I'm going to be adding Admob I'm going to allow you to monetize your app, so that this browser app, if you publish it on Play Store, you can earn from it. So before I do that, you can see the way our app is not looking that good. Let me do some kind of, let me show you, like changing the name. You can see that it's showing the name that we name our Android Studio project browser app. So why not decide to change it to any name of your choice? So you come to string value, you come to res folder, value folder, and string file. Let me just name it smart browser. So if I reload, let's see how it's going to be. You can see it's now called smart browser. But if you see that our UI is not looking great, so I need to change the colors. Instead of this color, this default color, so I'll come to theme here. I will set it to app compact because I'm not using material theme. App compact. Nevertheless, it's not a problem if I'm designing the buttons and the input. That is when material theme come to play. So if you check here now, you can see that this color here is this color, while this one here is this one. So if I want to change this one now, I need this one to be dark, to be black, while this one is gray. So I will just go to this color here, primary purple. You can see the color is primary purple 700. So I will go to color, primary purple 700. I'll change this primary purple 700. I'll just click on it, change it to black. Then the next one is this color. I want it to be gray, so I will go here. Let's check the name, primary purple 500. So I will go to the color. I want it to be gray. I think this is okay. Let's check the way our app is. So you can see it's looking good. I think I like it this way. Let me still make this gray to be more dark. I think it's better like this. It's better this way. So let's add our Admob. Let's add Admob so that if you want to publish your app on Play Store, you can earn from it. So how are we going to add Admob to our app? So this is what we are going to do. Let's go to the website. So I can give the description in the, I can give this link in the description. You go to get started, mobile Admob integration on Android. So if you check here, it said that integrating, before you integrate, prerequisite Android Studio 3.2 or higher, and we're using even an higher version of this. So we're using the latest version, which is okay. It said that you need a minimum SDK version of 19. If you check on our build Gradle, let's check our build Gradle. Let's see the minimum version we are using here is 21, while they said there should be 19 or higher, but we are using 21, so we are okay to go. We are good to go. So minimum compile version of 28 or higher, but we are using 33. Compile SDK 33. So that one is okay. We have met that require we have everything. So the next thing we are going to check is that they say in your project build or Gradle file include this following code. So let's check let's check to include it. Build or Gradle file, build script, or so they say project level on the which is this project level. So you can't see it here because the latest version of Android Studio now you cannot get it here. So we'll go to Gradle setting. So if you check on Gradle setting, you can see that we have all the requirements. So we are okay with that. So the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to be adding the dependency, which is this Android Admob dependency. So you copy it, come to your build Gradle and paste it. You paste it. Ensure you copy it very well. I made mistake. I didn't add this the last column there. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to sync my project. Sorry, this is double quotes. This is quotes, single quotes. So you can use double quote or single quote. So what I'm going to do, once I add this, I sync my project. So Android Admob has been added to our project. So the next thing we are going to do is to scroll down. Let's add this metadata in our manifest file so that we can connect with our Admob app ID. So you bring it, you come to your manifest file in the application line of code. Inside the application, you go to application and add it. So this require you to insert your Admob app ID here. It's in your Admob dashboard. So the next thing you are going to do is that here we are going to be using test add. When you are building, you are in development, you should always use test add. So we are going to copy the test app ID. If you use the real app ID, you might get add limit, which is very frustrating. So I'll just add the test add. So the next thing, let's scroll down to see the next process. The next process said that to bring in Admob, you are going to add this line of code in your main activity.java. So you come here and add it. So it means you are bringing Admob into your projects. So let's check the next thing we are going to be doing. We are going to check the add format that we want to use. If you check this kind of app, the add format that is good for this kind of app is banner add. See the way it is, see, interstitial. Now let me tell you something. If you integrate interstitial add in your app on opening of the project, maybe somebody just open your app for the first time, interstitial add just pop up, it's against Google policy. You know that your user will not like it, so it's against Google policy. So this kind of project require banner, so that we'll just put it. If you check our browser app, we just need a banner to display below. So what we are going to do is that let's integrate the banner add. So how do we integrate it? You just copy this line of code here, copy it, come to the layout, main activity.xml, activity main XML. Now I'm going to add it below. So if you add it here, let's wait for it to finish initializing. It's not showing. Let me check what's wrong. You don't have to worry. Whenever you get this kind of issue, you just clean your project. Let's clean our project to see. If it didn't work, no problem. What you are going to do, just keep building. Okay, it has come up, so you can see it below. So whenever we are on the browser app, it's going to show at this bottom here. So this is where you insert your banner ad units. So let's scroll down to see the next thing we are going to do. You just skip this one, come below, load ad. You are going to add this line of code. It means you are initializing the ad view. Now this ad view that is here, you need to also bring it to the main activity. So you are importing ad view, then after then you are going to copy these 3 lines of code. I will explain them. You come here, just come, ensure it should be always below this mobile ad initialization. So you paste it here. So now this ad view, the first line of code, meaning that you are getting, you initialize, you bring in ad view as a package, you set the object of the ad view, then you use the object to get the ad view ID from the main activity.xml. Then you set a request, you bring in add request equals to new add request.builder.build. Then add view.load view, you bring in the add request. Let me import it. So I want us to import it. That is what is showing us. You can see here we are using the, if you check our build.gradle so that you not get confused, you can see is version 21.5.0. So now, so that you not get confused, whenever you click here and you try to import, it's showing you all this. You don't go and import any of these things, just import this first one. So that is it. So these are what you do. So let's check if there's other thing that we need to do. You don't worry about all these ones. As a beginner, you don't need to worry about all this, unless you want to display some error message or success message to user. So you just forget about those ones for now. So at this point, Admob has been added to our app. Let's run our project and see if it's working. Remember, before I used to refresh using this, you know, there are 2 buttons here. I use this one to refresh, but on adding another package, I need to rebuild the app. So because I want to see our Admob being displayed in our app. Is very, very important so that you can earn from the app if you take it to Play Store. It seems I will pause the video. Okay, it's already on. So when you see this kind of message, don't ask, terminate. So let's wait. We have a problem. Let's check what is the problem. Let's rerun it again and see. I want to know why our app is crashing. Google Mobile SDK was initialized incorrectly. Admob publisher. Google Mobile SDK was initialized incorrectly. Let's check our manifest file. I've added the app ID. Unable to get provider, mobile provider. Okay. I'm suspecting something. Unable to get provider. com.gms mobile ad provider. I've added internet connection. Sometimes is used to be like this. Okay, here's the mistake I made. If you check here, say that Google Mobile Ad SDK was initialized incorrectly. Admob publishers to add a valid app ID inside the application, inside the Android manifest, should follow the following instructions. So this is where I made the mistake. This app ID here supposed not to be here, it's supposed to be here. So that is where I made the mistake. So let's rerun our app. So you to be able to understand all these things is a great skill. If you don't understand it, you can lose your job as an Android developer. So I think everything is alright. Let's wait if our Admob will pop up. So you can see our Admob is popping up. We are doing well. So let's just search for something. So you can see that our browser app is working, our smart browser is working, and Admob is already there. So do you notice there's something I want to show you guys? When you run your app, you notice that it takes a lot of time, then it now come up. So you know that there's some, when you open an app, it's supposed to show you the logo or the brand name of the app, something like that. We call that splash screen, but we don't have that. So how do we create our own splash screen? Because it's very important. And secondly, there's something that if I minimize this app now, you can see that this icon is what you are seeing. You don't have your browser, your app own icon. So let's add the app icon and the splash screen. So we're going to be using a flat icon. Remember that when you are using icon or logo in your app, you must follow Google policy whereby you don't use a copyright icon. So you can come to this website and get your icon for your app. So let me search for browser. So since our browser app has black and gray, so we need to get color that rhyme with it. So we're going to be using black and gray color. So I need it to be black. So remember, whenever you are choosing app icon, you don't go and use Chrome icon or maybe a Brave icon. Ensure you use something that is different so that they will not come after you. So even though the Chrome icon is black, it's advisable you don't use it. So let me use something that is not familiar. Let me use something like this. So I will download the icon. Once I download it, I'll just take the icon, copy my icon, come to my drawable, Ctrl V, enter. Let me just call it browser icon. Remember, when you are naming icon, don't put dash. It's better you use underscore. So you don't use a dash. So the next thing I'm going to do is that this is how to, you can add the icon as MIP map. Then it will automatically be added as app icon in your app. But that process, sometimes I normally encounter error. So that's why I used to avoid it. So I would not like us to come and suffer here debugging our code. So let's just follow the fastest way, which is I added it to my drawable folder. Then I'll come to here. You can see that the app icon is being directed to the MIP map folder. So that's why if you add the app icon to the MIP map folder, it's going to just update it on the manifest file, because the manifest file is what displays, what help you to that your icon should be displayed whenever somebody install your app. So since my icon is in my drawable file, my drawable folder, I'm going to just come to my icon here and update it, or just write the name, it will look for it. So I'll also come to here, it will look for it. So if I run my app, let's see if it has been updated. If it seems that I'm not that fast, please you can fast forward the video. There's a like a setting for it. But we have not created our splash screen yet. So let's minimize our app and see. It has not come up. Now see what we are going to do. If you experience something like this, let's close it this way, run it again. There's something I'm going to do. If you experience something like this, what you are going to do is that you are going to uninstall the app and install it back. That is not the app. not this one. Let me just keep installing, not to waste your time. Let me check if it is this one. It seems I've not uninstalled the app. Let me scroll up because it's now a smart browser, so I think the name must have been updated. So you can see it is here. The icon has been updated. You can see if I click it, it comes up. So the icon has been updated. You may not don't care about this, but you can see that the icon has been updated here. So no problem. What we are going to do next is to create our splash screen. So how do we create our splash screen? We are going to create a new activity, an empty activity. We are going to call it splash activity. So let's remove this main and write splash. As I told you, the name of this kind of activity is called splash activity because it's the first activity that pops up when your app is being opened. So how do we design our splash screen or splash activity? It's very, very simple. We're going to be using a relative layout. So I'm going to be using image view. Sorry about that. Image view. Let me set the height to be 200 dp. The weight to be 200 dp. Then I'm going to set it to center in parent to be true. Center in parent to be true. Then scale type, no need of scale type, let's forget about it. This is just splash screen. So let me bring in the source, the src. So how do I make, because if you check from here, if I run this app, it will not still show on the first screen. It's not going to show. You can see that it's not popping up on the first screen. So what are we going to do to make it to come up on the first screen? So the app is still working, but our splash screen is not coming up. So for us to make the splash screen to come up, this is what we are going to be doing here. We are going to come to our activity. This activity here, we'll come to the intent filter. We are going to remove the intent filter, cut the intent filter from here. Highlight it, cut it. So you come to the splash activity. Whenever you experience such thing, just close it. I'm clicking things are not working for me. There's a problem. Let me check. Clear them. Okay, it's working now. Then paste it. You can see what I did. If you experience that kind of issue, you check somewhere here if there's an error. The Android Studio will tell you that there is an issue. So if you just clear it, everything will be okay. So now it's telling me to set exported to be true. So I'll set it to be true. So once you do this, you bring the intent filter into the activity, which meaning that you are telling Android Studio that open whenever the app is being built or run. Whenever a user open the app, the first activity I want you to open should be the intent, should be the splash screen activity. So there's something I want to do here. I'm going to tell you guys. So guys, we have added our splash screen. So let's run our app and see. Let's run it and see if the splash screen is working. So our splash screen is working. Now it's just covering everything. You can notice there are two things you need to notice here. Is that one, it just stop here. It's not going further. It's not going into the app. And secondly, a splash screen is supposed not to show this title. So let's handle one after the other. The first thing is that we are going to remove this title here, this app bar here, the action bar. We are going to remove it. So how do we remove it? I brought in this line of code. This is what I did. This is the line of code. This is the line of code. Sorry for that, is my alarm. So this is the line of code that I brought in. So once I run this app with this line of code, so what you notice here is that you can see that, let's just wait, let it come up. You can see that the action bar is no longer showing. So but the app just remain on the splash screen, is not going further. So what are we going to do? We are going to bring in bring in handler. There's what we call handler. The handler is to help us for this splash screen to load for some minute or for some second before going to the main activity. So we are going to initialize handler is equal to new handler. So say handler dot coming. Let me just check something, please. I've written this code for a long period of time now. It's been long I wrote this type of code. So guys, after I initialized the package handler, I'll just set handler dot post delay new runnable. You can see there is one thing about Java, is that if you set handler dot post delay, you just set new runnable, it's going to give you the next suggestion. So you just use the first one, runnable. So here now you are going to come here and set comma. Here you need to set the time which you want it to run. So I will set 2000 milliseconds, which is 2 minutes. then I'll set my comma. So inside here, inside this place, I'm going to put the activity. I'm going to write the code, which activity I want it to go to. So I'll set my start activity, new intent, main activity. No, the intent is going to have the splash activity dot this, then going to main activity dot class, main activity dot class. So this only this line, these two line of code we take us to our main activity. You initialize the handler, you set handler dot post delay, new runnable, then you bring in, you set your intent here, then set the time. If you don't understand this, you can comment below so that I'll create a video about this. If you don't understand this line of code, then this is the code that will take us to the next activity. Then here is the time, 2000 seconds, meaning 2 minutes. So let's run our app and see if it will work. So it's going to wait for 2 seconds. Okay, 2 seconds. So you can see it's now working for like 2 seconds. Then it will come to the main activity, the main app. So at this point, we have finished building our app. We have built the app, the browser app. We have added our Admob, and we have added our app icon and our splash screen. So now I want to teach you guys how to build the app release, the AAB file, so that if you want to publish your app on Play Store, you can continue to publish your app on the Google Play Store. So that is what I want to show you guys now, how to make your app ready for upload to Play Store. Remember that there's a video I created on how to upload your app to Play Store. You can watch it and know how to upload this app to Play Store. So let's build the app so you come to build, you come to generate sign bundle, you click it. Now this AAB is for the Play Store, while this one is for you to run on your phone if you want to run it on your phone. So I'm going to create this one and run it on. I have an emulator. I have a BlueStack emulator. If I want to run it, I can decide to run it, but I don't want to waste our time. So let's just, if you want to do that, just build the APK. Once you build the APK, or instead of coming to build it here, you can just come here and build APK here, because that one is just to run on your phone. But whenever you want to publish on Play Store, you build Android app bundle. So you click this one here, click on next, then you create a new key. Where do you want to store the key? Let me store the key in my, let me just store the key. Let me store the key. Just put the key. Where will I save the key? Let me create a folder where I will save my key. So I created a folder, call it a test app. So I'll set the key here. I'll just call it browser key. The key, call it browser. That is the alias. Then I'll set my password 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let me ensure that this one is correct. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. So here I'll just fill my name. You can fill your name, your company, then unit you set mobile, then your locality, so then click OK. Remember that all these passwords, you must remember them. If you don't remember them, you will not be able to update your app. All the information you provided here, you must keep it secret. If not, if you forget any of them, you will not be able to update your app on the Play Store. So let me just keep remember password. Now this encrypted export, that one is for game. If you want to set your game, there's what we call Google Play Game. If you want to set Google Play Game, that is when you need this encrypted key. So let's forget about it. So we'll set always click release. Then let's go back. Let me look for that app again. It's in my docs. It's in my test app. So I'll click finish. So once this app finish building like this, you can upload it to the Google Play Store. Your app is ready to be uploaded and you can start earning. You add your Admob app ID, you add building. So guys, our app has been built successfully. So let's check it out. So here's the key, here's the AAB file. This is the one you can upload to Play Store. If you want to get the APK, you can also go down, click here and build the APK. Let me just differentiate it here. I will just come here and write APK so that it will not replace the other app. It will not replace the AAB. So just click on finish so that it should build the APK. So the APK, you can just send it to your phone and test it. Remember that I told you that you can also build APK here, but the difference between this one and this one is that this one is very okay for your phone. This one here is that it select phone. There are some phone that will not agree for you to install it on them. There are some phone that will reject it, that is not safe for it. But this one here, meaning that this one has been signed by the developer, so it will be accepted. Nothing will happen, nothing will go wrong. So it has been built successfully. So here you can see it is here. I have a blue stack emulator on my system. I can decide to run it and see it live. So that is what we are going to be building. So I mean, sorry for using that word, that's what we are going to be building. So we have successfully built our app. So if you like the video, if you like everything, please subscribe to the channel. Please share the video with your friend, like the video. Thank you for checking out. I'll see you some other time.